I'm more than happy to start. Our goal here in building this program worldwide is the very fact that socially, economically, and politically, we're dealing with many different groups. And so the approach and the basis upon which we set up our partnerships and negotiations has to take a different tack in order to uh, work with and deal with those social situations that our potential partners are living in right now. This means a number of well, the Chinese called Tong, which is partner groups. And this is, well, your example is a fine one, where we have one individual who is working to find those partners that work in all manner of different aspects of what society or what good social orders and societies have in terms of interaction and organization in order that everybody can live a decent life and be able to gain information from each other and help each other. So this is our first venture into that so that we can start to set up the proper protocols to get this done. Knowing that the next geographic area that we get into may require something just a little different. So I could expound on that in great detail. However, I think that that's a very good overview that others could easily find places where they'd be able to fill in the blank, so to speak.
Yeah, and that structure, as Lisa and he said, although we have a template, this what we call heptamatrix, which is the 7 different partners, actually 8, because we also include indigenous peoples as equal partners as per the two-row wampum. And they can have all of their own partners. So another 7 potentially, right? In the same sectors. The partnerships will be assembled as per the local conditions. So if they don't have a certain partner as it exists, let's say in one country, of course, there could be substitutions made for that sector. So in one community, it could be the YMCA. In the other one, it could be the Rotary clubs. And the other one, it could be the what's the Salvation Army or something like that, right? But they all will have reciprocal agreements likely, and they will all work together to ensure that the community can become stabilized. So Lisa Nice, I wanted to mention just I am Lloyd Halferty from UnityNet International, co-founder, concept coordinator. And I am with Jiri Bork and Lisa Nice Sutphin. I just wanted to say that for our recording.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lisa Nice.
All right. Just to put a word in, Lisa Nice Sutphin, I am a member of a division of UNESCO, a multi-level international judge for a number of world dance organizations, and the global outreach director for UnityNet, as well as a number of other titles, which I'll refrain from giving today. But no, the reason why I raised my hand, Lloyd, is I wanted to point out to you that Jiri here is Czech. Czech is an indigenous group. And in the Baltic states, we have a huge number of indigenous groups. In fact, my own family, which came from the Illyrian Peninsula, is an indigenous group. So as we move forward through these regions, we're going to find that in certain areas, there are a lot of indigenous people who for whatever reason, they go to the right place, they don't get treated well.
Mhm.
Period. End. Okay. Seems
Yeah,
to be
so
a trait.
we are operating on several principles, one of which we call unadulterated pluralism, which goes beyond tolerance. It is celebration of our diversities. And the idea is the establishment of these healing corridors, and the concept of healing as the first infrastructure, parenting as the first curriculum, and culture as the first currency. And so this is why Lisa Anise is very key to this operational framework. Bringing culture back into education is a big part of this, along with restoration and bringing in the uh, systems that can preserve these cultures and record these cultures. And we will use these recordings using these sovereign data sets, we call story PDDs, to train local sovereign ethical AI systems, using those story pods at the youth peace gardens and forests in the communities. So community governance, this is the rationale and reason for setting up these watershed peace councils as advisory tables for the municipal partners, hopefully, the mayors, the councils, the local governments. So we're not working federally, we're not working even provincially necessarily, or by state. We're working in the US, they're going by congressional districts. Here in Canada, we go by the watershed, which is a little bit different structure. For instance, our watershed here has 3 cities. So it's Richmond Hill, Markham, Toronto, in the Dawn and Rouge watersheds where I'm located. So I'm in the Dawn. Our partner, for instance, Prashant, who would like to demonstrate some of these solutions, like the climate smart kitchens and the story pods as learning centers for schools and for the community to use as these nature-based, basically, but hands-on learning centers with these learning systems in them, and the community engagement programs being delivered in these spaces. We can work with 3 municipalities, potentially multiple Rotary clubs, multiple YMCA organizations, multiple Lions clubs, other service organizations, multiple schools, at all the different levels from kindergarten all the way up to college, university, and everything in between. And really use these spaces to engage the community using these programs like the Bubble Fun festivals and the different ways of engaging the community in learning the solutions they need to achieve a better future for themselves. So we're trying to educate them on the actual, what's called foundational security solutions for food, energy, water, shelter, all of the things that they can understand how to create better lives. So what I'm doing right now, today, this morning, I put together, for instance, a federal engagement map, because our federal government, Mark Carney, our new prime minister, recently made another announcement regarding mostly alignment around resilience, sovereignty, community capacity, and ethical innovation. So we can align directly with our federal government, but not with the Prime Minister's office, We align with Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs Canada, Global Affairs Canada, Infrastructure Canada, Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, the Canadian Northern Economic Development Agency, and really key to this, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, which is basically every mayor across the country, or at least the big city mayors, which my mayor, Mayor Scarpitti, is one of the very few handful of big city mayors that has quite a bit of clout, along with Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, the big cities in Canada. So he's at that table, he has that voice, and we can make invitations through that organization that exists already. They have a website, they've already been recognized as this key municipal organization across the country. And with that relationship with the big city mayors, we can work with the World Conference of Mayors. As I noted, we can work with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. We can work with the other mayors groups in other countries and begin developing those community to community relationships. So as long as we're in alignment with the local community organizations, so outside of the elected leadership, because that's the layer that we can work with on the public side. So we have the multi-stakeholder partnership, public, private, civil society, academic, interfaith, all of these organizations coming together in this multi-stakeholder partnership, the Watershed Peace Council advisory table. We can come and say, okay, we're working with the city and the mayor's office, but we're also working with the Chamber of Commerce. We're also working with the Interfaith Council. We're also working with the what we call the Orange Economy, which is the arts and culture. We're also working with indigenous peoples. So we can bring all of them together. Our first point of entry that we're seeking to establish is actually that relationship with the faith communities as probably the fastest way to gain legitimacy. And so in our relationships, we're going to work with the local Jamaat, which is an organization. They've got a community center for the Islamic community. But then we're also going to work with the Catholic community. We're also going to work with the other churches. We're also going to work with the Jewish community. We're going to invite them all to this interfaith council that will advise the programming for our, what we call Canada Global South Ideas Forum this summer. So I'm in that process right now of working with my colleague who is an Ismaili Muslim. He's in Edmonton. And so we're going to connect with the another faith that is Islamic, just as the Ismailis are, and we're going to bring the Ismailis together with the other faith groups within the Islamic faith, within the Christian faith, within all of the Jewish faith, whatever, create this table, this council. Eventually the Watershed Peace Council comes together across all of the different sectors. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm going to be sending out an email or a number of emails probably later to all of these departments of the federal government so we can connect with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. We're going to work with our city mayor. We're going to start demonstrating some of the physical infrastructure that's necessary to create the foundational security. We're going to have conversations about our 6-year finance plan, because we have this whole framework where we can begin reallocating, let's say, some of the budgets that are already there, that they are already saying they're going to be increasing, in alignment with UNDRIP, which is, of course, the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, which has some foundational bits of what's the word I could say? The frameworks which they use for relationship building. And so we use those frameworks of UNDRIP in order to inform the conversations we have with them. And that's, again, related back to this whole idea of resilience, sovereignty, community capacity, and the ethical innovation that we want to focus on. So our core principles basically are also, as I mentioned before, beyond the healing as first infrastructure, parenting as first curriculum, and culture as first currency, are the principle of letting money serve love as opposed to conflict or war or division, letting work serve wisdom, and letting every breath serve the renewal of life. So the idea of all our relations, which of course is also an indigenous concept, where we consider all our relations as not just humans, not just people to people, but also all of nature, because that is the foundation. So again, putting together this documentation right now, I'm using my favorite AI tools like ChatGPT and Perplexity and let's see, the other one I was using this morning, Claude, to assist me in this process. So I feed it documents. Actually, yesterday, interestingly enough, we had a really bad Zoom call because I was accidentally muted for a good chunk of it, and nobody told me.
Oops.
And so the only thing they heard were the 2 videos I played. So one at the beginning, and then I talked a whole bunch for, I don't know, 20 minutes. Nobody heard me. Nobody said a thing. And then I played the second video. So those 2 videos were recorded.
Yeah, too polite to say so, Lloyd. Too polite to say so.
I noticed afterward when I saved the chat and I looked at the meeting saved chat file, I saw some people had written there that they can't hear me, but I wasn't looking at the chat. I was just talking.
Oops.
Oops. Yeah. No,
Oops.
I don't look at the chat. I was hoping that somebody would have, because I kept asking, does anybody have anything to say?
Yeah.
I want to hear your
Yes,
voice.
I would like to have a 1-minute break. Is it okay with you just to go to the toilet quickly?
Oh,
Yeah, no
absolutely.
problem.
Please excuse me for 1 minute.
Yeah,
I'll be
no
right back.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So basically what we're looking at, Lloyd, there are a number of advantages to getting not just Jerry, but his fellows on board. I mean, number one, on my end, with my running around with these different dance organizations around the world, it would be very easy to meet with groups of interest through people like Jerry when we're in that area. And it wouldn't be
Good to
seen
have
as,
friends in local places where you're going, right?
well, there's got to be friends in local places. There's also got to be businesses there. Something I'll be doing with Nils is going to be asking about outreach to other
Mhm.
groups so that I can speak with them about what it is we're doing, and do that live and in person, because, as an American, there's a lot of them, they're not going to trust me unless they can see me and smell me and hear me up front and
Mhm.
close and personal. Um, and especially in areas like the Baltic states where they don't trust anybody if they don't see them up front. And I don't blame them for that, because they get a lot of orders and a lot of this and that from people who live thousand miles away. And they
Mhm.
wind up having to follow through because of the geographic position that they're in.
Yeah. Well, it's not, they're not alone, right? Like I've traveled all over Asia, and it's the same everywhere.
It's the
They
same
want you to
thing.
be there in person, whether it's
Mhm.
Korea or China or Japan or wherever I was. They want you to be there. That's why when I was working before for this company, it was you go there
Yeah.
because they want you there in person.
Well, and with the work that I do in culture, it affords me the great advantage of access that I would not be able to get just as an American citizen. Wouldn't happen.
Mhm.
But as a minister of culture and a judge for cultural activities and competitions, I get that access immediately because I'm a fellow member of the club, so to speak.
Mhm.
So, Jiri, I'm looking at this map.
Yes, I have
Very distorted map.
very good to be here. Thank you very much for being with me, because I'm honored that people from Canada and America and Czech Republic can meet like this over such a great distance, and they can do something which will change the world to the better. And I have prepared also for this meeting. I have the opportunity to take all my contacts from the whole world and put it into the Excel table, which I cannot share here because it's GDPR, and the YouTube will immediately delete my video if I shared some information in Excel, which happened to me before. But believe me, I have started with Canada and United States. I have took all my contacts which are relevant to you and me, and I have put them into the table. And if you want, I will allow you into this table afterwards, after this meeting, so that you can see that I have many contacts in America and in the North America. And I would like to connect you with the proper guys and proper
Mhm.
people. And also, I have many contacts in the world. So I would be also happy to connect you with my contacts in Africa and in Asia. I don't have so many contacts in Australia, but I have many contacts in Europe because I come from the Czech Republic. As you can see, it's a small country in the middle. It's a blue, and around is Germany, Poland. There I have, in Austria, I haven't so many contacts, but Germany and Poland and Slovakia, there I have many contacts as well. And in Turkey, because I lived there for a long time, for many years I lived in Turkey, which you maybe didn't know about me. So I'm still at the online, I'm still presenting at some summits there. I have many contacts there. So I would like to stop sharing now, and I would like to say that it is great, and let's find some ways how to cooperate together. One more thing I would like to say, that Lisa attended a meeting with my friend Sharif from the Bangladesh. He was broadcasting. I didn't know it. He told me later that 40,000 people see these shows. He is broadcasting to the local TV as well. And Lisa was there. She was speaking very nicely about international topics. And I would like to invite you to that too, Lloyd. So you can welcome to the Bangladesh panel discussion. All these details can be sent via the private messages. Also, I will be doing one mastermind. This is business, which I'm interested in. It's my part-time, doing business with the people from the whole world. And also, besides that, one more thing I would like to mention today, that I created a group in Africa. Only today I invited people from Egypt there, from Ethiopia there, and from Tanzania. And yesterday I invited Ghana and Senegal. So my group is growing. It's a small, it has at this moment only 16 members, but I would like to connect with you with the people. If you need some people which you haven't got in Africa, I am exploring this Africa very much because it's a very friendly and I see great opportunity connecting there. So these things, and besides this, I'm just an ordinary English teacher who is interested in people and who likes speaking with people and making the world better. So also AI, I like very much. I am exploring it now as a helper. And yes, podcasting, I like recording these meetings with the people from the whole world. I like it. So I hope that this my brief introduction, that you got to know a little bit more about me, and now I will give you space back to speak.
Okay, so what we can do is consider this meeting number 1 of our alignment. So since I am recording this one, I'll import this into the maybe another folder of Notebook LM specific to this alignment. We'll give it some kind of name at some point. I believe we need to create a what's called GP4RD group, Global Partnership for Regenerative Development. As a conversation group on WhatsApp, you can invite people. I'll make you as a co-administrator. I'll start with myself, yourself, and Lisa Anise. And so we can begin having sort of one-on-one. I do post my invitations to the weekly calls. So this week, there is no Dawn call, which is our digital alignment and well-being network. So that's the what we call ethical AI discussions. And so every other week we decided to do this time. We had one last week. So this week we don't have one. So the next meeting we have is Friday. And then, so Friday is our UnityNet FAU BIPOCA Alliance Canada Zoom call. And I'll be giving an update like this documentation I'm putting together, for instance. I'm trying to put together here what we call a for-benefit corporation. So there's one province in Canada, British Columbia, which you can legally register a for-benefit corporation. So that is what our intention is, because we want to make it self-sufficient. So there's income generation, and we're not reliant on donations or charity.
Yeah, because they always come with strings. Those things always come with strings, and we're in a position where, yeah, we could have a lot of strings pulled.
We are trying to leverage our, again, networks to establish business relationships, income generation potentials across multiple sectors. We're talking about potentially entertainment, the sports, culture, movies, music, of course, leveraging the arts and culture, but also tourism. That's going to be a big part of this. So what we call the regenerative ecotourism, essentially. Healing centers, that's again in the healing corridors. We would like to create centers that could bring in rich people.
Of course.
Who could pay thousands of dollars a night for a special treatment and healing sessions. So that's part of and parcel of the humanitarian entrepreneurship angle. So as we build humanitarian social entrepreneur cooperatives through these relationships we're building, as we establish these watershed peace councils, they become the multi-stakeholder board that empowers those entrepreneurs locally. So we're looking at coalitions of SMEs. small and medium-sized enterprises in our communities, in our local communities. We want to empower them to come together, work together, and actually even share their own profits, creating what's called special purpose vehicles, SPVs, which are financial instruments that allow a coalition of small businesses to come together and pool their income profits into these sovereign wealth funds. So we can create sovereign wealth funds in each watershed. That's another intention. I want to actually have a conversation with the banker that I met last year. From China, but he's living here. He knows people like Jensen Huang. He started a bank or two here. So I'm going to begin having those conversations once he gets back from, I think he's in China right now again too. But there's potential. We've been talking about this for a while, these sovereign wealth funds. States have them, like California, right? But if we could create one in each congressional district, and Herschel talks about this, right?
We'd be able to keep everybody alive regardless of what our governments do.
Yeah, so using the mending goals as the framework for investments into local communities.
Guys, I would like to invite you to the event. This one is not mine, it's Sharif's. So if you feel like it, and I found out now the time in your local times. You are in California time, right, Lisa?
Yes, I am.
So this will be on the 30th and 31st, both days, 30 January and 31st January, 8 a.m. California. I will be there only on Saturday, on the 31st, because on the 30th I'm traveling, but you are welcome to attend both days. So 30 and 31st January, 8 a.m. California will be Sharif's event.
Yeah, he actually sent me an invitation, which I accepted.
Okay, thank you. So, and for Lloyd, I would like to mention that if you would like to see it, you are also welcome. There will be talk about AI a lot in business.
Yeah,
around the world.
You did send that invitation to me.
Yes, it is on the January 30 and 31st at 11 a.m. Toronto, because I believe you are in Toronto, right?
I have 10:15 in my calendar, but 11, that should work too.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I actually did a little bit of research on his organization as well. So.
And what do you think? Because I haven't done my research. I feel, from my perspective, I feel they are fine, but I haven't double checked them. Yes. So if you have found anything interesting about them, please share.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I can do that afterwards.
Yes, afterwards.
The results
okay.
I have.
Okay.
No, the host has a very good background in terms of his work and what he does in terms of educating people. So this forum, I imagine that it's going to grow very, very quickly. That was the impression that I got that first time I was there.
So I can say what I have it actually in front of me. WTE Forum, YouTube at WTE Forum 2012 or 1212, sorry. World Talent Economy Forum, a Malaysia-based organization focused on conferences, workshops, knowledge exchange, and professional development across business, technology, and sustainability fields. Core activities, international conferences, all disciplines, via partnerships with Al Noor Academy, Malaysia, and Asia Research and Development Academy, journal publishing through Innovative Academic Research Publisher, IARP, which has ISSN 3036 9495. CEO training, startup incubation, leadership programs, They do streams, events, interviews, and promotional content. Gave me context and credibility. Founded by Professor Dr. Sharif Uddin Ahmed Rana from Bangladesh, a Malaysian academic. Dhaka launched in 2025, positioned as thought leadership hub for AI, renewable energy, and digital finance. The conclusion was there was mixed legitimacy. Legitimate conference organizer, but operates in crowded academic conference space with variable peer review quality.
That's it.
UnityNet relevance, low strategic fit for core corridor youth peace routes work. The overlap is talent development, sustainability conferences could host sessions. The disconnect is it is a commercial conference model versus the globalization and FFHE grassroots model. So the risk is IARP publishing raises predatory journal concerns. So that's basically the recommendation that was provided to me by Perplexity in this case. Monitor for conference opportunities around AI ethics and regenerative ag panels, but don't prioritize that partnership. Focus instead on the local, and it gave me the name of this community center, the JCC, and NALAG, which is actually an equivalent organization in Ghana, equivalent to the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. So they have an equivalent organization in Ghana. And the reason we focus on Ghana is because the Ghana has a consulate here in Markham.
Yeah.
They have an office literally 10 minutes down the road from me. Not walking, but driving. But it's like on a street, like 2 streets over from where I live. So we want them to be the anchor because Canada also created a trade agreement with Ghana recently to establish direct flights between Toronto Pearson Airport and their capital city in Ghana. So we have direct flight for the first time ever between Canada and Africa. And that first one was Ghana. And the Ghana embassy is right here in Markham.